AP Clark here, and this video is going to go over the AP Computer Science A FRQ for 2025, number 1B. And in 1B, we're going to write the dog walk shift method, which will perform the dog walking shift of the hours in the range start hour to end hour inclusive, and returns the total amount earned. Okay, so we're getting the, well, that's a weird name. Dog walk shift for the total amount earned. Okay, so I guess that's just the money we make on the shift. The money the dog walker makes on their shift. Okay, so we have two parameters, start hour and end hour. So if they're 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock, 1400 to 1600 hours, that'll be 3 hours, right? 14, 15, and 16. So 2, 3, and 4 o'clock. Okay, so for each hour, the base pay is $5 per dog, and then we get a bonus if of only $3, not 2 bonuses, just 1 bonus. If the max dogs are walked, if the person walked all the dogs they could, or the walk occurred during the peak hours. Okay, peak hours 9 and 17 inclusive. Okay. So we have a table where this is the person can only walk 3 hours, and this is the time they walked. They walked during 7, 8, 9, and 10. So looks like we're going to have a loop where we loop over, including the start hour and the end hour. And then if they walk 3 dogs the first hour, they get the 3 hours, the 3 dogs times 5. So 3 times 5, that's a base pay. And then they get a bonus because they did the max. Yeah, they did the max. And then if they, during 8 o'clock, that person walked 2 dogs, so times a base pay of 5, and that's it, no bonus. And then during 9 o'clock, that's the peak hour time. So even though they didn't do a max, they did the 2 times 5, so they walked 2 dogs, so $5 per dog, and then they got the bonus. And then here, they got the max, and they're doing a peak hour, but they only get 1 bonus plus $3. Okay, so we gotta complete this dog walk shift method. We're going to assume walk dog's method works correctly, so we don't even look at the code here. We're just going to assume that this works correctly, and we're going to use it to earn full credit. Okay, so I think one thing that I forgot about the walk dogs in the last video that I'm going to maybe delete is that walk dogs updates the company dogs here. So if I call walk dogs more than once, that'll get some weird stuff happening. So when I am looping, I can only call this once per hour. So we'll see that in a second. So first off, I have an int. So what does that int represent? It's the result, but what does that represent? The total money they make. So this is the bank, how much they're banking, earned during their shift. Okay, then I always like to return the results right away. Put it at the bottom of my method, that way I won't forget about it. Okay, then like I said, we're going to loop over everything. Yeah, we're just going to loop over our shift. So our for loop, our shifts are in hours. I'm going to start with our start hour and say hour has to be less than and equal to the end hour. And we're going by 1 hours. I can't go by 2, that doesn't make sense. So we're going 1 hour, then the next hour, the next hour. Okay, so again, if it was 14, add 1, 15, add 1, 16, and it's inclusive because I want to include 16. Okay, so I'm going to get the number of dogs walked per hour. So I'm just going to copy this, paste it. Oh, I need a variable for this. So I'm going to say int dogs walked. I don't know. That's a good variable name. Equals walk dog, and I'm going to use h as my parameter value, as my argument. So I get my dog's walks, and then I get my base pay. So I'm going to add to my result how much I'm taking home, adding to the result the base pay, which is 5 times that dog's walked number, whatever it is, 3 or 2 number of dogs walked. Yeah. So there's my base pay. Okay, so now I need to do an if statement for the bonus, and it's going to be an or probably. So if the dogs walked oh my goodness, equals the max dogs. I'm just going to copy and paste. Or the hours are in peak hours. So the hour I'm at, so H, or H is between 9 and 17. Is there anywhere else that's at? No, just right here. So I guess those are just magic numbers I'm going to use in here. So I'm going to say 9 is the base. And it's inclusive, right? Yeah, inclusive. And H is less than or equal to 17. You have to put two H's when we're doing it like this. You can't just do it like math where H is in the middle. 9 less than or equal to H, less than or equal to 17. No, you have to do this condition where 9 is less than or equal to H, or H is greater than or equal to 9, and H is less than or equal to 17. So that's my peak hours condition. And then those are my two conditions to get bonus. So my bonus is just, what, just 3? I think that's it for real this time. Okay, last time I didn't get a separate variable. I put walk dogs H here and here, but I called it twice. And when I called it twice, it would have called that update company stuff twice. That would have been good. So here we go. So we start out with nothing. We go through all the hours on our shift, one by one, inclusive. We get the dogs we walk that hour. We get our base pay, which is 5 times the many dogs. Then we see if the bonus condition, if it's the max dogs, or if it's the peak hours. And if it's one of those conditions, we just get one bonus, $3. And at the end, we always want to return our result. Okay, that's it for the 2025 1B Computer Science A FRQ. Have a good day.